there's a really big divide between men and women in gaming, and it's like not good.
Yeah, women are basically like, hey, we want a game. And trolls of the internet are like, no, you have a vagina, die!
Welcome to Persister with Candace Lowry. I am Candace Lowry. What is a persister? A persister is a little play on words of nevertheless she persisted, but also a woman who has truly broken through that glass ceiling and has really forged a path and a name for herself in whatever business she's in. Persister with Candace Lowry is a CastBox original produced alongside Studio 71. CastBox is the fastest growing, highest rated podcast app on both iOS and Android, where you can find all of your favorite podcasts. You can listen to Persister with Candace Lowry wherever you get your podcasts, but I hope you'll give CastBox a shot because I think it's the best. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Persister with Candace Lowry. I am Candace Lowry, and today I'm so excited to have Becca Scott with me.
Hello.
Who is a tabletop gamer, a
That's
host,
right.
a yogi.
Ooh, yeah.
You can stand on your head for a while. I was reading that.
Thank you.
Is it true?
Is that written somewhere?
I think so.
I might have put that on my Facebook profile. Yeah, I can. I can stand on my head for at least a solid 2 minutes.
Wow.
I've been doing a lot of airplane travels, so I haven't been working those muscles as much, so don't ask me to do it.
Well, welcome.
Thank
you
you
for being here. I'm so excited to learn all about gaming, Twitch.
I'm
Never
excited
touched
to tell you.
Twitch before.
Never touched it?
No. Well, I creeped on it a little bit before you came in just to like see your show. But
So you touched it a
yeah,
little.
yeah, but I was like, I don't know what any of this means. So I'm excited to get into that.
I got you.
But I would love to do a little icebreaker question,
Please.
which I feel like you would know the answer to.
Good, because I don't like questions I don't know answers to.
So, what would you say is the most overrated and the most underrated tabletop game?
Well, here's the thing. What if those companies hire me?
Oh.
Okay, you just told me. Actually, so I did recently meet a tabletop celebrity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his name is Klaus Tuber. I think he's like in his 70s.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he created Settlers of Catan.
You met him?
I met him. So I had the great honor of getting to work at a tabletop convention in Essen, Germany. Small town, known for this convention pretty much.
Whoa.
It's called Spiel, which means play. Look at you knowing
I
your
lived in Germany
words. What?
for a year,
That's amazing.
but I barely know any words still.
Eins, zwei, drei.
Yeah, 4, 5.
Yeah, together we could maybe count to 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's the thing. Klaus Tuber and his son Benny were beautiful people. I've played so much Settlers of Catan in my life. It is too much relying on luck. You know, like your placement of your settlement matters, but you're rolling dice, and dice are unpredictable. And I like a game that has a nice balance of strategy and luck, or just straight up strategy. But when it's all luck, if the dice aren't going my way, I just get real angry and pouty at my friends. And then they're like, Becca, grow up. But I'm like, well, then roll an 8 and maybe I'll grow up. Yeah. Anyway. So that's one that I love but also hate.
That's insane that you met him.
Yeah.
How did he make it? Was he like, I was bored one day?
Well, he speaks German. So there were key phrases he could answer in English. No, he was very sweet. He had fine English. But, you know, you can't get too deep into it. I was doing this thing where we highlight 15 minutes of all the new games that had come out this year. And so there was a new expansion for Settlers of Catan. And so that's why I got to meet him. It was so cool. Got to meet a lot of tabletop icons and idols.
Wow.
But I know your listeners may or may not be big gamers, so we don't have to go too deep. It's like how I got to interview Eric Lang. No big deal. He made Zombicide and the Godfathers board game. And like,
oh my God. So, yeah, what is the most, like, to you, your favorite tabletop game that not many people know about that you, like, love?
That not many
Or I guess
people
know about.
My go-to on a game night, code names. It's one a lot of people have heard of. You're in 2 teams, and you're giving clues to your team to flip over words. It gets very heated, very simple for someone to just walk up and be like, oh, what about this word? And then walk away. And so it's a great, get people into the gaming mood. But an absolute favorite of mine that we play a lot, Carcassonne. It's been around for maybe a decade or a little less. And you're just laying tiles down and building a map with your friends. Oh. Secretly, it's cutthroat, and there's intense points grabs happening. But you're just, all you do on your turn is you flip a tile from any pile you choose, and you add it to the map. And then that's it. You got to connect roads to roads and cities to cities. And love Carcassonne.
Wow. For a tabletop game, tell me if I'm being an idiot here.
No, never.
Is a tabletop game just anything you can play on a table? So like chess?
Yeah, tabletop game.
Okay.
See, that's why, so board game, to me, has the connotation of 1, boring, and 2, that there has to be a board, because there's so many good card games and role-playing games, chess, totally, classic OG game. But tabletop is all-inclusive. Anything you're sitting with your friends at a table and playing.
So what drew you to tabletop games versus a video game?
Well, I do play video games. Yeah. Got myself some Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, Lord.
Been playing a little Zelda Breath of the Wild on my Switch when I'm riding airplanes, because I have gotten to go to a lot of gaming conventions lately that are all over, so that's been cool. But I am drawn to tabletop, 1, because you get to connect in person to other people. So that's what I do when I want to invite friends over to drink and have a good Friday or Saturday night. I'm like, board game night, come on over. We're going to do it. We're going to play these games. If too many people show up, I'm splitting us into groups because we got to play this game. It's new and I haven't played it yet. But I got into it from, I think, if your parents made you play Monopoly and Scrabble as a kid, then you're used to making your brain work like that, and you start to enjoy, I'm going to apply my strategic, logical brain as an evening activity, and that has always given me great pleasure. But I didn't actually know how big the world of tabletop gaming was until maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I started doing a little Googling and just the way that shows have exploded, television shows on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and all these things. The internet has given us such a great platform and an outlet to make content. Same for board game creators or tabletop creators. So Kickstarter is where most indie developers put their stuff. Yeah.
Anytime I'm on Kickstarter and looking at the most popular, it's always games.
That's where we're hanging out.
So where do you find Are you just let's just look through, or how do they spread the word of these games that they need funded?
Well, you got me. I do How to Play at Geek and Sundry. It's a YouTube show. It used to be on Twitch, but we moved to YouTube because it's easier for people who are trying to advertise their game to spread it to more people on YouTube rather than Twitch.
Okay.
So that was our thinking there. But there's also a webpage, boardgamegeek.com. It's the IMDb of board games, basically. And anytime I'm just perusing, they have a newsletter. There's lots of different newsletters of websites and articles that like to write about tabletop and board gaming. So if you're into it, maybe you'll get that little email digest. Maybe you'll see one of my videos in there. But there's also developers, the same that you'd have these outlets for streaming services. You've got the big board game producers, and a little indie game may come out, and then it'll get bought up usually pretty quickly by a publisher. Same as a book title might be. So, you just got to see what that publisher's got going on.
It's like a secret big world.
Yeah.
Of gamers.
Dude, you peek under the cover and there's little ants with the circus in there. I don't know. I don't know where this metaphor's going.
So I want to talk about how you got started. So you're originally from Kansas City, Missouri.
That is correct.
Right. So,
and Sharice David's pretty close to where I grew up. She just got elected to Congress.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is post-election.
She's a game woman. She's a former MMA fighter.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. She's pretty bad A. Can we curse?
Yeah.
I said bad A anyway.
I think over 100 women got elected.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And a gay Native American woman.
Oh, that's Sharice
that's
Davids.
her?
Yeah, she's Native American too. Forgot that.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
and an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
I do not want to mess with her.
Oh, no, you don't. Mm-mm. I can't wait to meet her. But she was elected like 10 minutes from where I grew up.
Wow.
And the governor of Kansas is a woman.
Wow.
When has that ever happened?
Yeah.
I could go on a real long tangent about politics.
That's insane.
Anyway, yes, I'm from Kansas City,
Yes,
Missouri.
so you're from Kansas City, Missouri. So what brought you to LA? Or how did you get out here? Because I know you've been acting. You went to UCB, right? For a while. And your husband is in, not Funny or Die. He's in College Humor.
College Humor, yeah.
So,
ooh, I love that you internet stalked me so well.
that's what I'm known for. So, yeah, what brought you out here?
What's my story? Okay, so I got my degree in theater performance like you do. I can say so many tongue twisters. What to do to die today at a minute or two till two. No, just kidding. And then I moved out here and was like, well, great, let me work in a coffee shop. And did that for a couple years. And then I started a production company with some people I knew. And I am super OCD. Why I'm good at games is like I love just detail-oriented stuff, which is essentially what producing is. So I got into producing. I got into assistant directing, which is the person that calls the shots on set.
Yeah.
When the director just sits back in the chair and makes a schedule and all that kind of stuff. So, as you know, but who knows if people are not in Hollywood listening to this pod.
Yeah.
But that's not why I came out here. I wanted to be in front of camera, and I produced something for Geek and Sundry. It was like this indie comedy pilot with a bunch of UCB cast, and we just like made our 30-minute comedy pilot. It was post-apocalyptic but hilarious and had puppets. And then Geek and Sundry was like, yeah, we want to help you guys make this, and then we'll help you shop it around. So they put some money into it. I produced it. I met them that way. And then I had already been kind of like dabbling on Twitch. I knew about it. I was popping into this other channel and kind of figuring out the technical side. And then Geek and Sundry was like, we know from talking to you that you have some involvement in Twitch. We want to start the biggest Twitch channel. We want to be like the Twitch channel. Because a lot of Twitch streamers are gamers sitting at home, streaming themselves, playing the game.
Yeah.
But Geek and Sundry was like, but what if we do it on a stage with production value? And since then, a lot of people have taken suit, but I think Geek and Sundry was among the first. And so they were like, hey, do you want to work on the production side of that? And I was like, hey, no. But I do want to be in front of camera. What about some tabletop stuff? And when I pitched that to them of like, let me do a board gaming show, I had no idea what I was getting into. I thought like I get to play Settlers of Catan every week. And since then I've been doing it for 3 years. And I've played like probably 350 or 400 different games. It's crazy to think about because I'll still hear I'll meet another gamer and they'll be like, have you played this and this and this? And I'm like, never even heard of them.
Oh my God.
Because there's thousands every year.
Yeah.
Because, you have an idea, you make a game. But that's how I got into it. And the more I do it, the more I love it. And it's so funny that what I do for work, I also do for play when I go home. And it's the coolest thing ever when your work is not even work.
So talking about Twitch, because I'm a Twitch noob.
Yeah.
What I feel like the people always say it's like the forefront of digital streaming and it's like the next YouTube and the next step, especially for gamers. But so I feel like such an idiot. So walk me through on Twitch what the big differences between Twitch and YouTube live streaming are. Are there any big difference? It's just a different community?
Different community. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. And I would say, in my experience, it has been less toxic than I think. I haven't done YouTube Live, but that YouTube comments in general can be.
Yeah.
I find a lot of trolls over there. And, so I just don't always read YouTube comments. If I don't reply to your comments, sorry, that's why.
Yeah.
But on Twitch, I've found it's so much community, and it's so much people that, you know, when you're a kid and if you have a sibling, maybe you watch them play a video game. And this is probably the same as YouTube Live for gaming, but it's that thing of like, we're just hanging out and we're playing a game. And I'm just like watching you play through it. We're chatting. And so it's that sort of camaraderie, and it's not just like you're a performer. It's like we're hanging out, and I'm interacting with the chat, and I'm reading what you guys are saying live. And so I think YouTube Live gamers kind of just started doing the same thing over there. But Twitch is a platform that has just been so great for just spreading the love of what it is to just have an internet community, especially for people that find it harder to connect in person.
Yeah, it seems like it's more so for people to be positive rather than on YouTube, which can be pretty bad. But how would you, like, for a young girl out there who wants to get started on Twitch, wants to start gaming, like, what would you say to them?
I mean, it's the same as any other thing that you want to do. You want to be good at it, you got to put in 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
So just start doing it. And it took me a lot of trial and error and Googling YouTube videos of how to set up the technical aspects of the right sort of like converter to use to get the HDMI plug to go into your computer, to get it to go into the open broadcasting streaming system. But Google has all the answers. That's the beauty of it. You know, you just had a camera problem and you were like, oh, let me Google that.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what it is. Easy.
So when you choose your streaming, because you say you have a streaming schedule.
I did. I was streaming last year, and this year it's been too crazy with Tabletop and a lot of travel and a lot of very grateful for like international work that, that like my one rare day off, I'm going to game in silence by myself.
Yeah, when you're gaming, do you have to talk, or can you just like sit there and relax and be
Some
gaming?
people, I think it depends on how good of a gamer you are. Now me, when it comes to video games, I am less of a skilled, proficient gamer. You're not going to see me like crushing it on Fortnite, getting first place, killing everybody. But I like a game that tells a story, and I like, you know, talking about the story and enjoying the ride of like an adventure game where it's basically a movie where you click some stuff.
Right. I do too.
Yeah.
Because Spyro's about to come out, like remastered next week with all 3 of them.
What?
And they've like all the graphics have been remastered, and I've been like on the wait list, like waiting for it.
Didn't Spyro originally come out on GameCube?
I think it came out on Sega Dreamcast.
Sega Dreamcast, yeah, that's right. So my best friend had it growing up. I just had straight from NES to N64 to PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I had it on PlayStation, but yeah, they're coming out with it, and I love those adventure games where you just kind of like choose your own adventure and go through it. Maybe I should start a Twitch cast with Spyro.
Yeah, you should.
But one of the things I noticed in the live streams that you've had with Geek and Sundry is that it's a lot of women.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like that's rare to find, where it's majority women.
Absolutely. And Geek and Sundry behind the scenes, mixed bag, a lot of gentlemen there, but in front of the camera, they have made it a big, big point to highlight women and to try and make it as diverse as possible. But which is could be more, but they have a lot of female hosts. And Geek and Sundry was originally created by Felicia Day. She's an actress. She created the web series The Guild, which is one of the first like big web series that was on YouTube. And she's wonderful. She's now off doing her own thing. She's crushing it because Legendary Digital bought out Geek and Sundry. But it's kept that spirit of it's not only about play and about being a geek, but also about women being empowered to be geeks. And I love, don't cry, Becca, I just love that young women, especially young nerdy women, which we all have something we nerd out about, have a place to go on the internet and see those are people that I can be like. I can be whatever I want to be, and that's totally cool because look at these people on the internet. So that's what I'm most excited about. Yeah, I love that I get to work. Also, I just get to experience being around these amazingly talented women, which is super cool.
Right. And I really want to talk about more so the differences that you've seen being a woman in gaming versus guys, and kind of that there is this double standard almost that when you get into the industry it can be a little daunting sometimes and scary. And we were just talking about like guys on 4chan just intentionally ruining things for women. So I'm going to take a quick break, but I want to hear more about that when we get back.
Oh, you warned me of this, and it does feel abrupt.
I know. I have so many half-empty hair products because nothing I try lives up to its promise. But then I found Living Proof. My hairstylist actually used it on my hair one day, and I was like, what is this? This is amazing. And it ended up being Living Proof. So they approach the toughest beauty challenges with technology from MIT scientists. So no wonder why it's good. And you know you're dealing with science, not just marketing gimmicks. From frizz to damage to fullness, Living Proof products do exactly what they claim to do without using silicons, parabens, phthalates, or animal testing. Like their award-winning dry shampoo that actually cleans your hair. Unlike other dry shampoos on the market, Living Proof doesn't just mask oil, sweat, and odors, but removes them completely, leaving your hair looking clean, fresh, and ready to take on the day. So let me tell you a little bit more about my experience. I love the Frizz line. It's basically a line devoted to puffy hair and keeping hair in its place, and I use the shampoo, conditioner, and the hairspray as well to kind of keep everything tame, and I absolutely love it. So it's no wonder they've won 8 Best of Beauty Breakthrough Awards. Living Proof is delivering results that you can see from across the room. So do what I did and make the switch to Living Proof today by visiting livingproof.com/persister and use promo code PERSISTER to get a free sample of their award-winning dry shampoo with your purchase. That's livingproof.com/persister, PERSISTER. Promo code PERSISTER for a free sample of dry shampoo with your purchase. livingproof.com/persister, promo code PERSISTER. Let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn. LinkedIn Marketing Solutions is the de facto environment for B2B marketers and advertisers to drive brand awareness, generate leads, and build long-term, purposeful relationships that result in real business impact. So it's really marketing to who matters. So advertising on LinkedIn's network of more than 575 million members is precise and powerful, with the ability to effectively target the right message to the right people while they're in a professional mindset, resulting in higher quality leads, more website traffic, and higher brand awareness. When it comes to marketing your business, it's all about reaching the right audience at the right time and connecting with them when your message will resonate the most. So this is really important with a lot of my small business friends who want to kind of get everything out there, get started, get employees, and it's really great to invest in something where people are already there with a business mindset and want to be looking for opportunities. So if you want to target your customers where they are engaging every day and when they are ready to make a decision, LinkedIn can help you. When you advertise on LinkedIn, you have the opportunity to build long-term relationships with your customers. And these relationships often translate to high-quality leads, website traffic, and higher brand awareness. The first step is talking to the right audience. With a community of over 575 million professionals on LinkedIn, you have access to a diverse group of people searching for the things they need to grow professionally. LinkedIn has the marketing tools to help you target your customers with precision, down to their job title, company name, and industry. Because better targeting equals a message your customers care about, which in turn leads to more trust built with your customers. In fact, 4 out of 5 customers who are on LinkedIn are decision makers at their company. So you're building relationships that really matter, and your money is going towards a good business. To redeem a free $100 LinkedIn ad credit and launch your first campaign, go to linkedin.com/Candace. That's linkedin.com/Candace, CANDACE, for your free $100 ad credit. Terms and conditions apply. Welcome back to Persister. Persister, sir. How can you do the sister?
Let me know how much I miss her.
Sister.
Hosted by Candace Lowry.
Sister. Okay, I have Becca Scott with me.
Hey.
And where we left off was talking about really forging your own fire in gaming by being a woman. And I feel like the biggest time, because I'm not really in the industry necessarily, but I read a lot about it. And I remember the first time I saw a big awakening for me with women in gaming was the whole Anita Sarkeesian.
Gamergate.
Yeah. And I'm still not sure exactly what went on, but from that point on, I was like, wow, there's a really big divide between men and women in gaming, and it's like not good.
Yeah, women are basically like, hey, we want a game. And trolls of the internet are like, no, you have a vagina, die.
I don't understand.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I have been gaming for a long time, but I stepped onto the internet scene of gaming after Gamergate went down. Because that was like, what, 3.5, 4 years ago, maybe? Yeah, time flies. Time flies when you got a criminal in the White House.
Yeah. So do you mind doing like a TLDR of Gamergate?
Ooh, yeah, that's the total request live download.
The too long didn't read.
Yeah. Reddit, what up? I've been to you once. Nope, I'm the wrong person to do that. Basically, women who were in the gaming community online were heavily trolled. It was that thing where trolls or people who like to spew hate on the internet just ganged up on these women that were prominent in reporting on gaming and being gamers and just tried to say, no, we won't allow you to do this because we will just make your life such an absolute hell with death threats and anything else you can imagine to just make you disappear because we don't want to see women's faces that have opinions. Basically is my impression of how Gamergate went down. And that's the only side I care to listen to. No, just kidding.
No, but it's like more and more of this came out, and then I remember seeing a lot of people commenting on it, like making whole YouTube videos around it, and it's just, it really was discouraging because I feel like especially young girls who wanted to get into it then felt like, should I even bother?
Absolutely. You should. They should. All women should, because our struggle's not done. Our fight for equality, not there yet. Maybe in Los Angeles it's better than other places, but there is a subtle misogyny that is going on all around us all the time that's saying women aren't welcome here, even if it's just by the fact that there aren't other women. So we all have to be trailblazers if we want to work outside the home and do more than dishes and laundry and popping out babies.
Right.
And, I have a theory that I'm spewing all over whenever anyone asks or doesn't ask, that that the revolution for women, for equality, for feminism, really started with birth control because we got to take control of when we had children. It was in our hands to choose not to have children and be able to work. And, of course, I totally respect women that choose to have children. I mean, I plan to someday. Right. I'm not dissing that at all, but having it being your choice when, to not be at the whims of well, you're married now, so now I'm popping a baby in you and you're going to be in the house and deal with that.
Oh my
Enjoy.
God. I don't know how people have like more than 2 kids. It's just your body.
I know. I'm terrified for the things that happen. I always ask women that have children, like, and then the stretch mark when they sew it back up. Okay. And your intestines gets cut for a C-section. Okay. Let's not get into it. But I mean, like, my grandmother wrote a memoir about how depressed she was being a stay-at-home mother. She went through shock therapy treatment, all because she was brilliant. And because of the time, you're a mom that stays at home. And she did a lot of community activism. She, like, worked with prisons to try and improve prison conditions in St. Louis, Missouri. But, like, still, when you're not able to just have your voice be listened to because of your genitals, it's disheartening. And so that's why all women need to be busting their ass all the time. And that's why often we excel, is because we know that we have more to prove because for so many millennia,
Sorry.
I'm saying important things, Candace. Don't you sneeze at me.
I always sneeze and cough. Like when people are getting really like emotional, I like choked on my coffee the other day. Oh, that felt really good though.
Yeah, I love a good sneeze. Anyway,
Yeah.
I can step gently down off the podium, but I'm just saying, women, get out there, make your voice heard.
Yeah.
Because our fight's not done.
Yeah, when you face, because you said you recently moved kind of back over to YouTube now for live streaming.
Yep.
So when you see these comments or somebody says something like a 12-year-old boy would say, what do you do? Like, what's your go-to?
Go into a deep spiral of questioning who I am and what I'm doing. Honestly, I don't like to read YouTube comments because they're so often about my appearance. And of course, we always feel this pressure that we need to wear makeup when we're in public so that we're perceived and respected in a different way. Because it's true that people receive you differently when, like, you're wearing makeup, which is stupid. But also just one of those tactics for survival.
Yeah.
And I'll see a lot of comments. So my friend, wonderful, wonderful person, Will Wheaton, did a show called Tabletop with Geek and Sundry. It had 4 seasons. And 3 seasons? 4 seasons. And it was kind of the predecessor of the show that I do now, which is a simpler, less production value because we do it every week. We have a lot. It's not like a set 10 episodes. It's like always and forever we're making a new episode of a new game.
Right.
So I'll get so many comments saying, "Where's Will Wheaton?" Like years later, there'll be 10 comments on every video. And of course, I love Will Wheaton. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
And totally. I ask myself that question every day. But I wonder, is it people that just prefer to hear things from a male voice? I don't know. Because I'm dang good at explaining games. Just saying.
Yeah, it was. I think I saw that too even when I was at BuzzFeed. Like, it was a place that was so much emphasized on you rather than like your gender or appearance. But at the end of the day, like, all these girls were making series, and the most successful ones are only men. So like, worth it. The Try Guys, like, it's and even when we were in BuzzFeed as a business, it's like they only wanted to focus on those shows, and they wouldn't, like, I was part of Ladylike, which was all women, and they just didn't think it was gonna work. They didn't fund it, and it's one of the most successful shows.
Hell yeah, because you showed them.
Yeah, but it's still so frustrating that you're at these places, and at the end of the day, there's this stopping point for women where it's like, well, we gave you a little bit, but we're gonna go with these dudes. You know what I mean? And it's just still there, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, but I think it is getting better all the time. And shout out mad props to Geek and Sundry because we have an all-female role-playing game show called Weave Society every Wednesday night. And it is ridiculous. We change up our entire play set and like the setting we're in every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And so we just go balls to the wall, batshit crazy with our characters. And it is so, so wonderful. And actually, I was in Dallas, your hometown, a couple months ago. And the best thing in the world happened to me. I was crossing the street. And I was there actually for a different gaming thing for this company that had hired me to be at the grand opening of their gaming store. And I was crossing the street, and a car full of teenage women yelled something at me. And I was like, hey, and I didn't know what they yelled. And then I got across the street, and I was like dissecting the syllables, and they all had shouted at the same time, "Weave."
Oh, my God.
And once I figured it out, I just like, had to hold back tears a little bit because it was like this car full of young women that like were so, you could tell that it like just the way that they said it, that they were empowered to see women on the internet gaming. And I think, the more that we bring the audience to it, because there hasn't been content directed at women as much in those realms, that the more that we bring that audience in, the more you can't even debate it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that. And I know that there are young girls listening, and I'm wondering, what you would tell them if they have tried to get into gaming, live streaming, and they're hit with all these comments. What would you tell them that this is the first time they're experiencing this?
You have to develop a thick skin. And I think this has also come for me from acting, because most of acting is getting rejected and told like, okay, thank you. Let's show yourself out.
Yeah.
Thanks, do you want me to do? I could do it a different way. No, you're good. Thank you.
So sad. I hate it.
Just picture Emma Stone in La La Land.
Yeah, I feel like that is a pretty accurate.
Yes and no. I screamed at my movie screen because she's in the room. Do you know how hard it is to get in the room in LA? But I think developing a thick skin and realizing that you need to believe in yourself and nobody else matters. You can't dwell on that. So there's two voices inside your head. There's the critic, and then there's just the positive self-talk. And you need to choose to always give yourself the positive self-talk and not dwell on the negative. Because if you do that, people will see that and you will draw negative energy towards you. This is super hippy-dippy, but I totally believe that if you just react to everything with positivity, and if something goes poorly, let it slide off your back, let it go. You can't dwell on the negative because that's not going to push you forward. And with YouTube comments, like, I try not to even read them. Sometimes I skim them. And sometimes there's positive stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to take that with me. Let the rest go. Because why take something with me that doesn't help me and make me better and push me to work harder?
Yeah, and I think even getting to watch shows like yours is probably really motivating, and seeing the representation and just knowing that people can do it and have done it is really helpful. And I think that, like you said, even just that one instance of those girls being like, oh my God, like,
That was so awesome.
that it's like, oh my God, I'm representing somebody out there.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Which, as a privileged white woman, never thought that I would be. But the older I get, the more I realize that we're still struggling to make female voices heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know I've experienced this within YouTube, is that although people say like, oh, women should be supporting women, there's still this like competitiveness of like, but I want to be the one that people hear. Like so do you see that sometimes with other girls and coworkers where there is kind of this competitive nature, but you kind of have to also be like, we're in this together and there's room for everybody at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the particular community I find myself involved in is super, super supportive. Yeah, sometimes we want the same job, but mostly, especially the specific jobs I've been doing, it's like there's a niche for each one of us because we each have slightly different skills and we can support each other in that. And honestly, when I'm surrounded by a room of powerful women that are host personalities, I feel empowered. I don't feel scared. If I am at a audition for 3 lines in a TV show and they all have red hair and are, kind of cute and a little quirky, then I feel uncomfortable because we're all fighting for one job. But in the hosting gaming space, I feel like there's a space for all of us if we create that space for each other.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always room. I feel like
there's always room for more.
So,
yeah, just because I can live in this country legally doesn't mean other people can't also live in the country legally. It doesn't hurt me.
So what do you see as being next or going forward? What do you want to see and develop and be a part of?
So, you've heard HBO's Game of Thrones has some spin-off shows.
Yes.
So, just shout out to DB Weiss and David Benioff, because I know they're listening. Just, think of me is all I'm saying. Dunk and Egg is a good series. No, going real tangential. Honestly, so, when the clock gets to 11:11 and you make a wish of what you want to happen. I used to always have my wish when I was a little girl. I was like, I can't tell you. Can I? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Is it going to ruin it?
Yeah. Anyway, it was 11:11 the other night, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to make a wish. I'm going to wish for. And then I looked at my husband and my dog, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm feeling happy doing what I'm doing. I'm always open to the next bigger, better thing. I'm always open to new projects, and whether it be narrative or tabletop, or someday I would like to create my own game. But I'm happy doing what I'm doing,
And that's like really refreshing to hear because because there's always this pressure of like you have to be number one, you have to be the best. But then when you like just take a step back and just look at like all the stuff you already have and do, it's like, whoa, like this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's nice to not be jaded by success sometimes.
Totally. You know? But then you can't ever stop because happiness is not a place that you get to and then you're done.
Oh yeah. You gotta
stealing this from a book I just listened to. But it's solving problems. Really overcoming obstacles is what gives you happiness. Yeah. So me getting out of bed and coming to do a podcast was an obstacle, but now that I'm here, I'm having a great time.
Well, I'm glad you came here. So where can we find you?
I am all over the internet at the Becca Scott on all the social meds. And if you go to my Twitter or Instagram or, any of the things, then you'll find me and you can find out what I'm up to next.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go and check more of the videos out because I want to learn how to play things, how to make things.
Oh, I can teach you how to make things. So I have a web series. I made like 10 episodes, shot it in my house with
that's the way to do it.
tiny little camera, tiny little microphone. I can teach you how to groom a cat. It's called How To with Becca. It's a really popular
to learn how
series.
To groom a cat, though.
Yeah, no, it's in there.
I have a cat.
Cool. I have so many tips. Mostly I talk about how I want a dog. Then later there's an episode when I got a dog.
Your dreams came true.
I teach you how to build a table.
Wow.
I just bought some wood from Home Depot and started hammering it together. And it turned into almost a table. The next episode, I teach you how to build a fire. I needed some wood.
So you can have a fire for your tabletop game.
I cannibalized the table.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers.
Oh, God.
Yeah. They're really dumb. They're really, really dumb.
But
it was fun to make, yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show.
It's been such a joy. Thank you.
I'm excited to watch more, learn more, and I think I definitely got an insight. I definitely got an insight not only to live streaming Twitch, but also the life of a woman in gaming, which is very fascinating to me. And I know that you inspire a lot of people and keep up the good work, the good fight.
Well, likewise, so do you, Candace.
Thank you. Please be sure to check Becca out and learn how to do things, learn how to play games. And I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out.
Bye.